That's right. What's good, man? What's happening? I've been watching y'all. Y'all been watching me, and I've been liking what y'all been watching because y'all like what y'all see. Welcome. Welcome back to another episode of the Keep It a Buck podcast. As always, I'm your host, Saani. Podcast is about relationships, black men's emotions, God, self-awareness, and black women's value in our culture, or relationships and why we do the things we do. For all you do, this but's for you. And y'all already know what time it is. Let's get it cracking with. How y'all doing? Temp check. Tss. What's popping? New year, man. New president. New wave of bull. But listen, you just got to stay grounded to whatever you got going on, fam. Whatever is happening at the top or the bottom, you got to stay grounded to whatever you got going on. But my bad, I cut you off. You were saying how you was doing. Go. Kendrick voice. Mm-hmm. All right, well, who have you told this, right? Who have you told how you doing? Whether that was good or bad, that sentence that you just rang out and you just say it because y'all know how I do. You got to say it verbally. Who have you told that? Did you tell anybody? Or did you keep it all in? But whatever, we'll get to you later, right? We got to get to the relationships. I like today's topic, and shoot, I ain't no expert on it. You know what I mean? Most of the topics I write, they for me. We are family. I be talking to y'all, but I be talking to myself too. And today's topic, yeah. Even after I recite it, I'm still gonna need some help in it. But let's get to it. But before that, you already know we gotta touch on that. You play too much, cause I do. And this one is crazy, and this is why being in corporate every day and the suit and tie every day, I don't know. I can do the meetings, but as far as the everyday, I don't know if it's for me. And this might be evident of that. But for some reason, and it only happens when I start on the elevator alone. But for some reason, I can't help but sing old 90s TV sitcom shows on the elevator when I'm on the elevator alone. But then when somebody get on the elevator, I act like I wasn't singing. I act like it was the radio or something. Like I'd be mad quiet. It's a rare condition in this day and age to read any good news in a newspaper page. I be screaming at the top of my at love and design at the top of my lungs. Even harder to find. Where there must be some, and then that's when the elevator open. Where there must be some ding. How y'all doing? I stay on the elevator, and as soon as they step off and the doors close, I continue. Inside of these magic walls. But when I run into them people again, I be like, dang, I think that shorty was on the elevator when I was singing that. Family Matters. But I'm sorry. I'm addicted. Day by day. That's that step by step. How does step by step start? Please, if you from my era, if you grew up when I grew up, if you was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, please tell me how does step by step start. Of course I can YouTube it. I want somebody to type it at the bottom, right in the comments. How does step by step start? I give them confused with Family Matters. Step by step. It was the same nigga, right? And why it wasn't a nigga. It was a white guy, but they tried to make him seem like he was black. It's a rare condition. Oh, you don't talk like that, cuz. Your name's Steve, fam. Look it up. He was a white dude. But yeah, bring that to your office or whatever. Find your 90s song. You know what? Damn. I can't even think how this will start, but this is one of my favorites to do. Oh, keep your head up, what? Keep your head up. That's right. Whatever this life is like, you gotta fight. Got my home girl standing to my left and my right. That's right. True blue. Straight like. Ding. Hey, how y'all doing? What floor? Okay. Yeah, it has been cold. It's been really cold. Yeah, they said it's supposed to warm up Saturday, but whew, can't wait. All right, you have a nice day. Tight like glue. We are What? Check it out. Do what you want and bring it to your office. Find your own groove, find your own song. But it ain't for me, the corporate office. It might be for Cole, might be losing sleep, but it ain't me. Can't do it. And this is something I had to learn to do today's topic, man. And still learning, dog. And that's accept neutral. You got to understand sometime to accept neutral. It ain't reverse, it ain't drive, but just accept neutral. It's a gear for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that gear. It's a neutral. Shut up. What up, Matt? Sometimes you need that gear for a reason. Sometimes you got to go in a neutral, right? Because understanding isn't forward, it's neutral. In order for me to understand you, that don't mean I'm going forward with how I felt prior to the conversation. But in order for me to understand you, it's me being neutral to how I came into the conversation. For the opportunity to be able to understand you. Now, we don't always understand each other all the time, and it may take a third party, or it may take a second attempt, or it may take a another angle to be able to reach somebody. But I gotta allot you that opportunity, and the only way I can allot you that opportunity is if I put it in neutral. Sometimes you gotta learn to throw it in neutral and be cool with neutral, dog. It ain't moving forward. And PB, listen, understanding ain't moving forward. It's neutral. And sometimes in relationship, y'all know that's what I'm talking about. Whatever that is, whether that's in not necessarily business, unless it's a business partnership, but with your kid, especially as we grow older and our kids grow into young adults and adults. Never mind. But it's crazy seeing the people who I know and then like, not to judge, but some of these moms who I didn't think could be a great mom, the best of moms. I'd be like, I don't know how you did it, but that's crazy. Kids in high school, college, this crazy. So whatever type of relationship with your partner, relationship with your friends, you got to understand to accept neutral, right? And we're going to break it down because you don't have to win every time. Understand it. And actually, you should probably prefer that you don't. Well, I do. If I can win every time we in a debate or argument, I really don't want you around. Because the perspective that you offer, I don't know how valid it is to me if every time we come to a debate, my perspective wins. You know what I'm saying? The people who I want around me are the people who want to challenge me based on what they know, how they know it, and however they acquired it. So, and that's what I like. That's the best thing about relationships, right? When you around like-minded people, or you around people who care about you, you don't have to win every time. You ain't got to win every time. You can't win. You cannot win every time. And that's a lot of people's problem. And that don't make sense, right? Dang, I be trying not to gender war it. Which you know, I be cutting into the guys all the time, but females a lot of the time. Listen, I was just talking about this the other day. When a guy is caught, we try to lie all the way up until we know, okay, she built the case. I understand they built the case on something. She building her case on something. So she's got something on me. And what she says she's got on me, she knows at least that. So I have to fess up to what I know she knows. I know she's fishing for more information, but I at least have to fess up to what she knows. Not females. You would catch a female red-handed, but I don't know if it's pride. I don't know what it is. But it's not so much that they want to win everything, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what you get in guys a lot. We want to win. But they cannot lose, right? Like a girl cannot have egg on their face. When it's time to be like, and that's not to say they can't come back and be like, dang, I was wrong or whatever and make it up. But it's rare that in the moment, it's a rare condition. In the moment, it's usually not, oh, okay. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying from your perspective, and I was wrong. It's you tell her what you know and that she did wrong. Well, or no, she pick out the wrong word. You said them like it was like a bunch of people. That's not what. That's not the point. But you do not have to win every time, right? So let's break down. Why do I say that? Let's go into what the definition of win really is. But win, right? And why I say you don't have to win every time. The definition of win: be successful or victorious in a contest or conflict. And I'm gonna read it again. To win is to be successful or victorious in a contest or conflict. If we talking about a relationship, this ain't no contest, homeboy or homegirl. And that's what you got to realize. You ain't got to win every time. The best perspective, not even the best perspective, actually, when it comes down to a relationship, the best perspective when it comes down to science, when it comes down to math. And then you do the hypothesis and you figure all that out. Cool. This is the best and most responsible perspective right here. But when you're in a relationship, it's not the best perspective. It's the best perspective for y'all. What works for us, right? Because your perspective with somebody else and how that mesh might not be how it mesh with the next person. And that's your issue. Thinking because this worked with you and homegirl, you can go to your next shorty and do it like this. And that's how it's supposed to go. And because she don't do it how you used to doing it, she not doing it right. That ain't how relationships is. You got to find out what's best for y'all. Not because what's something might be best for you, that's not best for the whole. Like, just in relationship with a family, once you become a father, or once you become a mother, it's apparent you can't do what's just best for you. Now, y'all know I'm on the side of not neglecting yourself, but you can't not just do what is best for you. You have a relationship and a responsibility, and anytime you have a relationship, you have a responsibility. No matter that relationship, there is responsibility bared. So understand, anytime and I'm in this instance, I'm talking about a parent and a child, but in any relationship, understand anytime there's a relationship, there's responsibility right up under it like a fraction. If you exclaim or claim to have a relationship, just understand you got responsibility right under that. But it's not up to me to write the bylaws of those responsibilities in that relationship. But I'm telling you, you do have responsibilities within that relationship. So if it's a relationship, you don't have to win every time. Because to win is to be successful or victorious in a contest. And even if I'm in a debate or conflict with my significant other, pettily, if that's a word, sometimes being petty, yeah, sometimes I want to win. If she getting on my nerves and what she's saying ain't making no sense, and yeah, sometimes, just be honest, yeah. But I wouldn't like a situation where every time we was in a debate, I was trying to be victorious. A lot of the times when you win, it don't feel good. A lot of times growth doesn't feel like a victory, right? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a promotion, if it's a change, you got to move or whatever. Sometimes growth don't always feel like a victory. And we all want to grow, but growth is uncomfortable in any way that you look at it. And sometimes growth doesn't always feel like a victory. So I don't want to go into any relationship looking for conflict resolution at the end of it to looking to be feeling victorious. I would like for us to be feeling more cohesive in a resolution, but not victorious, right? So we went over the definition of win. Now let's go over the definition of neutral. And that's not helping or supporting either side in a conflict. So understand, if I'm in a relationship and I'm going into, obviously there's a conflict, right? That's why we got to have this conversation. For me to be neutral, it's not helping or supporting either side. Even so, that means I have a side, because I'm one of the parties. So I come into it having a side. But if I have a relationship, now if I'm on the street and it's a back and forth, I don't know you or whatever, we don't have no relationship. So I ain't neutral with you. It's straightforward. I'm trying to get home, doing whatever. I found whatever, you disrespectful, you found whatever. This conflict resolution is a little different. You know what I'm saying? This, me and you ain't got a relationship. Ain't no neutral, homeboy. I'm going straight and drive. Or if I'm playing my spidey senses, I got to throw them in reverse. And that's another thing you young gotta learn. Sometimes you gotta throw it in reverse, man. Don't have too much pride to not die. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be that tough. Don't have too much pride to not die. That's all I'm asking. Just not die. You got, hey, sometimes throw that thing in reverse. It ain't never, listen, bro. It ain't never a reason to get jumped. I ain't saying you ain't gonna get jumped. And I'm mostly talking to the youngsters. Please don't jump me now, bro. Y'all should see how I am after 5-on-5s. Hey! Don't, if I can imagine getting jumped. Oh my God. Jeez. Be on here with the big glasses with the rays. But don't be too afraid. And then, so I'm saying it to the young wild, the YNs, and then I'm talking to the females. Because I don't want to go into a tangent, but I understand that it is a requirement for y'all to exude a certain amount of strength. And not even exude it, it's a requirement for y'all to possess a certain amount of strength and a certain amount of fortitude. A certain amount of fortitude. A certain amount. So y'all have to be strong. I understand it. And y'all have to be strong in y'all views. Y'all have to be strong in y'all points. Y'all have to be strong in what y'all truly and honestly believe in. But that don't mean you can't throw it in reverse, shorty. Oh, I made a mistake. Let me get the fuck out of here and not press forward with it. YNs. It's 5 of them, 1 of you. You can pipe down, fam. Go home. Set up a play or whatever you want. Is a one-on-one or whatever. Don't be too afraid to throw it in reverse. Back to neutral. Because if I'm coming into a debate, right, or a conflict with my girl, or with my homeboy, or with my kid, because I was talking about our kids are becoming grown. I got a 21-year-old daughter. She gonna do whatever she want to do. Of course, I can have my opinion on it, but she gonna do whatever she want to do, and she an adult, so she can do whatever she want to do. She got the means to do whatever she want to do. She's got the capability. She's got definitely the smarts, not quite the wisdom. So that's where I would like to come in as a parent. When you want to do what you want to do, right? But you still gonna do what you want to do. So my only thing is, I understand how I feel, but if you're gonna agree to talk to me about it, I gotta come in neutral, right? I gotta come in not helping or supporting either side, which means my own. And that's when I'm talking about conflict resolution. When it's time for me to voice how I feel, I voice how I feel. But when it's time for me to be neutral in the conflict resolution, I gotta not help or support either side. That means my own. So I just gotta be open to listen. Let me hear your case. Let me hear your case. You know what I'm saying? That's when I just got to be open to listen in any relationship. If you want that conflict resolution, you already know how I am. I'm running straight to the conflict because I'm looking for the resolution. But I'm going to run straight to the conflict. Homeboy, what you say? What you say? Or what you did? Or what was Tay voice? What was said? All right. So in my thing with why you don't always have to win, because what's it to you? Big dog, what is it to you? Why you gotta win this one, right? And some already admitted, I told y'all sometime, yeah, I would like to win versus my girl. Yeah, because you've been acting crazy with it and playing me like I'm crazy. I would like to win. Cool. But I'm talking about everyone. So why did I want to win that one? So when I ask myself, what's it to you? Because I don't like the way she talked to me on the subject matter as if I didn't know what I was talking about. I don't do that when she talking about reality TV. She clearly knows what she's talking about because she watched more than me. So I don't like the way I don't like the way you treated me in the manner as if I'm the SME. Wait, yeah, I'm the subject matter expert right here. So if you ask me about the travel, why should I have to go back and forth with you about what the travel is? You don't know. You don't know. So some is feel good to win. So that's why I wanted to win this one. But if I ask you, what's it to you? Why do you care enough to have to win? Some, you got to win. If I'm out in the street, if I don't have a relationship with you, I got to win that one. Or it might cost me something. But what is this one going to cost me to be neutral? Or what is this one going to cost me to give to you, right? If it's not gonna create a tempo, a bad tempo in our relationship, a bad vibe, or set a bad standard in our relationship, hey man, sometimes you gotta give them the dub, man. When you up 15, you can't ask for every call. And that's for any motherfucking coaches that watch my podcast if I ref your games. If you up 15, 16 points, I ain't calling everything. 2 reasons. 1, I want to go home, nigga. 2, come on, man. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Just keep the flow of the game going. But whatever. What was my point? Oh, well, what's it to you? Why you gotta win? Now go back to the relationships when I see the guy and the girl calling each other bro. And they yelling, they going back and forth. Why you gotta win? Niggas arguing online, that period. Whether you on live arguing with your significant other, or you making statuses going back and forth with your significant other or somebody who you got a relationship with. Why I gotta win whatever we got going on? Now, if you defaming my character, you making me look a certain way where I gotta respond. But why I gotta win this? For me to take something public, that mean I want to win. Company just went public. I want to win. I want some investors in this. We trying to win. So for me to take something public with somebody I had a relationship with, that mean I want to win. Why you want to win this one? Everyone? Maybe she made a mistake, right? So she's wrong. But why you don't just go into it neutral, like, all right, so you can see her perspective, but let yours be known, but just let that one be neutral. You know what I'm saying? Just let that one be neutral. What's it to you? That's my question. What's it to you, big dog? And you got to meet them halfway. And this is important. And this is something that, because I would evaluate how I would do things. All right, that's a good way to do things. So I was assuming the way I was doing things was the right way to do things. But in a relationship, it ain't about my way. And remember, I said it ain't about what's right. It's about what's right for us. So in a relationship, you got to meet them halfway. And the halfway is original expectation, right? That's you. Versus who they truly are. I understand you can have an expectation of how you want your partner to be. I can understand you have an expectation of who you want your kid to be. I can understand you have an expectation of who you want your best friend to be. But you got to meet them halfway with your expectation and who they really are. If my expectation is for all of my friends to, if at the drop of a dime, it's like, you know what? Somebody like, you know what? Fuck Flint, Michigan. Niggas from Flint can't really hoop. My expectation is for, if we got our shorts and some hoop shoes, all my friends who step out on that court, you ain't got to kill, but don't embarrass me, right? We from Flint. We played basketball all day long during the summer, coming in smelling like outside. You know what? Y'all think white people know what smelling like outside is? Never mind, because I don't like y'all response, and I'm not trying to take it there. I promise you, take it there. I'm taking it further. It's something you don't want to do. Ooh. But my expectation is, come on, man. We hooped all the time. Don't embarrass me out here if a basketball game break out. But I do got a homeboy. I know if he got to be the fifth on that court, it's going to be trouble, man. He's a decent athlete, but not when it come to that round ball. So that's unfair for me to have the expectation for him not to embarrass me. My expectation is for him just don't hurt nobody, brother. So when you in a relationship, you got to meet them halfway. So another example is trying to make a sporadic person organized, really, really organized in detail. Yeah, you can give them pointers. Yeah, you can give them tips. If there are certain things that are affecting, that they are doing that are affecting your relationship with them being sporadic, attack those. Just those. But you can't try to make this sporadic person just this overnight, neat, and organized person. Your expectation with who they really are, you got to meet them halfway. And I'm going to bring up a scenario. I was in a relationship with somebody, and they had a lot going on. They would keep stuff here. Nothing was definite, right? There was no definite place for one thing. There wasn't as much structure as I would like, right? Or as I am used to. And we got into it because she couldn't find her keys. It was time to go. She couldn't find her keys. Man, something just happened a couple days before, similar, whatever the case may be. But my expectation for her was a little too high on my how I like to do things about being organized. But you know what she did? She met me halfway without saying nothing. The next time I came, we seen each other or came home. She had bought just a one of those things you hang on the wall where you can hang your keys. Just something that simple to me wasn't, she didn't have to come to me and say, you right, hey, I'm sorry for this or whatever the case may be, or I was expecting her to have a detailed calendar. But that's me meeting her halfway. Now I know you understand, right? Because accepting neutral is understanding. Understanding isn't going forward, it's neutral. So by you buying that to hang your keys and showing a little more organization, that's showing me that you understand how I feel. That don't mean you're going to become this truly overly organized person, but you are showing that you went into, even if you didn't go into a neutral at that point, you spent some time with it and went into neutral like, you know what, I do understand. I ain't going to do everything in that manner, but I do understand. So you got to meet somebody halfway, whoever they are. I got a homeboy, and and with his kids, he used to get mad at them for, man, they left a sock in the middle of the floor. Like, yo, why would he do this? And he getting mad at his kids, yelling, why are they leaving stuff in the middle of the floor? And he had to realize that's what he do. He do it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's who you are. So you can't expect your girl to be the girl on Instagram. You can't expect your guy to be the guy who's buying all the bags, unless your guy is the guy who buys all the bags. You can't expect your girl to take all the pictures with the angles and y'all always look good and always show her very, very best side if your girl ain't the one who's showing the angles, if that ain't who she truly is. So if you agree to get in a relationship, or if you are binded in a relationship, as far as with your children, you agree to, or you are binded into a relationship, you got to understand that other party, even though, like your kid, even though I understand you created them, that's your DNA. They got their own everything. You know what I'm saying? Like when you watch your kids grow, think about when you watch your kids grow from 3 to 6 to 12. That when you just really see their personality, you know what I'm saying? At first it goes from just nurturing them to make sure that they get the best and being there to hold their hand as they go through life, to realize like, oh man, you really got a personality. You really cool, or you really, in some cases, corny. And that's going to, matter of fact, I want to speak to that. If we go into original expectations versus who you truly are. Nobody want their kid to be corny. Sometimes you're going to have a corny kid. Nobody want their kid to suck at sports. Sometimes your kid gonna suck at sports. I hate seeing that when the parents is yelling from the crowd and you yelling something, first of all, you probably couldn't do. That's why you don't understand it. That's why you're yelling and you don't understand your kid is not good. Whatever. Effort, cool. If you yelling for effort. But stay in front of him. Nigga, he Luca. He cooking me, dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be wanting the kids to be able to turn around and look in the stands and be like, yo, he's just cooking me, dad. I'm trying. Your expectations for when you paid your $5 to come in this middle school game and watch me play was that you can go to work the next day and talk about how well I did, or because you played basketball well, or because you watch a lot of basketball, because you like sports, or because you got a lot of pride that's how you want everything to go in your life. That was your expectations. But the reality is I might not be that good. I might be trying, or I'm trying and he cooking me because he that deal. Sometimes you're going to run into somebody who that deal. And you yelling at me or your expectation is not going to help the situation. So throw it in neutral, dog. With who I really am. Who am I? Whoever the person you're in a relationship with, meet them halfway with who they are. It's cool to have expectations. It's totally fine to have expectations. It's totally fine to have standards for any relationship that you would like to be in. But you got to realize what's on the other side. KYP. Shout out to Grady. One time we hooping just at a church randomly, just a pickup game, close game. He got pissed, dog. At the close game, they lost. You know what I'm saying? It was a girl out there hooping. It was two girls. They was checking each other. But game point, dude threw it to a girl on the fast break. She lost the ball. You know what I'm saying? They came down score. Grady got real mad. Come on, man. Throw somebody. Hey, we down. We got one more possession, man. Throw it to somebody. We got to get somebody to score. KYP, man. KYP. Wasn't no money online or nothing. He was pissed up. But you got a KYP. Know your personnel. Know your person. Or shout out to Wells. Wells say know your nigga. Or know your lady. So don't have no expectations of what you see, or even if you got those expectations of what you see on your online for your relationship or for relationships, you better make sure that they met with reality with who your guy is. When they on trips and they looking good, that's cool. Y'all go on trips and y'all can look good, but they look good. You want to take these pictures in the bathing suit. If your guy don't work out, you better come to reality with who he is. He gonna have that t-shirt on, or he gonna have that tank top on. So it's cool for you to have that expectation. But it got to be met with reality. Never get away from reality with your expectation. Your expectation is not an excuse to be exempt from reality. Your expectation is not an excuse to be exempt from reality. Do you understand? Just because you expected something or you expected something to go a certain way, that don't give you an excuse to not accept what it really is. I say all the time, or I used to say, reality ain't what you want, it's what it is. That's it. And my baby. That's a Flint nigga. Well, I don't know if it was outside of Flint, but it's definitely a Flint nigga hood term. That's a hood term right there. You looking at me crazy because I just called a guy my baby. That's a hood term. What's good, my baby? What's good, my baby? So I'm talking to you out of love and I'm telling you, my baby. You got to embrace dispute. Yeah, that's what I said. You heard it right. When you in a relationship, one that you chose or that is binding, that you're bounded to, you have to embrace dispute. Nah, don't run. Where you going? No, ain't no running. Because you chose to be here or you got to be here. So you got to embrace that dispute. Because the dispute going to happen, right? Because I just told you we all come with these different set of neurological things going on, our own perceptions, how we perceive the world, our own feelings and all that. So in any relationship, there's going to be dispute, or there better be, or you ought to question what's going on in that relationship. Your kid never get in trouble. You never have to have conversations. You and your girl always get along. It ain't never an issue. You ought to question why that is in a relationship if y'all are truly different. Now, I'm not saying that y'all can't come to some type of common ground so y'all don't get into it over this or that. But if it's no disputes, something going on. I'm just telling you. Or I'm not saying something going on. Somebody's not being true to who they are. And that's not saying that you cannot make concessions or you cannot make sacrifices in a relationship, because you should. But making a sacrifice does not mean you moving away from who you are. Making a sacrifice means that you identify certain parts of the elements of who you are affect different areas in a certain way. So I will sacrifice bringing those elements out at that time. But to have a sacrifice is not compromising who you are. My bad. Let me get back to embracing dispute. It's going to happen. Dispute is going to happen if you're in a relationship. Just handle it accordingly, right? At some point in your life, you're going to need insurance. It's a scam. But at some point in your life, or you're going to need to go to the doctor. So if you break something, you should probably get it fixed and not just try to fix it yourself. Mistakes are going to happen. Injuries are going to happen. Firings are going to happen. Hirings are going to happen. Celebrations are going to happen. Deaths are going to happen. It's going to happen. Handle it accordingly. Dallas, with your highways for rain, your irrigation system. But I digress. It's going to happen, so handle it accordingly. And embrace dispute. Let's get into what dispute is. A disagreement, argument, or debate. And if you're in a relationship, you truly being who you are, it's going to be a time where you and your partner or you and your kid have a disagreement, argument, or debate, or somebody's being fake, right? Relationships are going to be filled with this dispute, but what makes the relationship is the trust and the resolution, right? That so the dispute is going to happen, but the resolution is a us. We put that into the us file. Man, you let your girl she stay out till 2:45 in the morning. That worked for us. We're gonna put that in the us file. Don't worry about what I got going on, nigga. That worked for us. We're gonna put that in the us file. So a dispute is a disagreement, argument, or debate. It's gonna happen when you're in a relationship. And embrace dispute. What's embrace? Well, I'm glad you asked. I thought you never asked. Embrace. Accept support willingly and enthusiastically. So I understand we don't want to come into these debates or have these disagreements, but they're going to happen, right? So if the dispute is a disagreement, argument, or debate, and embrace is accept or support willingly and enthusiastically, I have to, for one, the first part of it. I told y'all a dispute is going to happen. It's going to happen. Handle it accordingly. So a dispute or argument is going to take place. Accept it. Accept you did something wrong. Accept she did something wrong. Or accept that it was a misunderstanding. That's the first step. Because if you ain't accepting it, then we can't go forward. We can't go forward if you're not identifying that there was wrong done or that feelings were hurt and a perspective is that there was wrongdoing done. We can't go forward if you do not accept it. So when I say embrace dispute, you already know what dispute is: a disagreement, argument, or debate. And to embrace, the first part is to accept it. So don't look at me crazy when I say embrace dispute, because you must accept it. You got to accept it. And sometimes when so I spoke about it earlier, but sometimes when it's your fault, when the egg on your face, when you embarrassed, you don't want to accept it. Like, you ever had a bad day? I remember, man, I was like 800 in his hole. You know what I'm saying? Lost a couple on the betting. Peyton Manning playing for Denver. They playing New England. They up 24 points when I went to sleep. Halftime. They up 24. I put the house on. I bet the house on it. Cool. Woo. Woo. Give me back to zero. Don't y'all know I woke up, SportsCenter was on, they came back. I seen no SportsCenter, but I still went online, checked the scores. I sat on the edge of that bed for about 20 minutes because I couldn't believe it. I could not embrace it. I could not accept that my homeboy just doubled down on me. Now I'm 1.2 down. You feel me? So it be those times where you did something wrong or you so embarrassed, you do not want to accept it. Like a death, right? And some people act out after a death because they didn't accept what happened. Maybe the dispute between the living and the dead. The dispute between the spirit and the physical. You wasn't ready for the physical to go, but the spirit was ready to go. That's the dispute. You got to accept and embrace it happened. Or you're not going to be able to move forward with your other relationships because you haven't accepted that death has happened. It's not always going to feel good in this dispute. So when I say embrace dispute, and it's not like, when I say enthusiastically, it's not enthusiastically to be right or to win. It's enthusiastically so we can get on the same page. I was going to ask you, have you ever, but I know we all done it. When you're living with somebody and y'all ain't on the same page and the tension in the house, but she wrong, so shit, I ain't about to say nothing, bring it up because she wrong. So I'm waiting on her to bring it up to me, or vice versa. He wrong, so I ain't about to keep saying stuff. I'm going to let him bring it up to me. So now you two idiots is just in a house, both uncomfortable. Both uncomfortable because bump, 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 I'll be rocking it. You ain't ready to go. Ain't no way you going to go because she wrong or because he wrong. Instead of embracing and accepting, all right, the dispute is going to happen. Something happened is wrong, but what's the goal? Ain't the goal to get to a resolution? So, embrace, the first part is accept. Let's move on. Or support willingly and enthusiastically. You have to support the fact that a dispute is happening. Even if, my man, if you feel like she tripping, what is you talking about? You tripping. You might feel that way, but go into neutral, and going to neutral is supporting not her side, what she's saying or what he's saying. Going into neutral is supporting that a dispute, a disagreement, argument, or debate is happening based on how she feels, based on how he feels. You have to support. So that's why when some people say like, well, don't make me feel stupid, or don't ignore me, or don't just act like I'm making this up. Even if you feel like if somebody is tripping, to go into neutral, if you do want a resolution, you have to support that there's an actual side. Now, that can be wrong. Even in science, you go into a hypothesis and you can be wrong. So that side can be wrong, but you got to understand that side was birthed in something. And that side might have been birthed in a trauma that happened years ago. So that's why Shorty wrong. That something, or that side might have been birthed in her past relationships and how people done her. Or that something might be based on his trust issues in his relationships. Or that's something might be based on him reflecting. But it is a something, and you have to support that it is coming from somewhere. Right or wrong. You got to accept that. Or y'all can't move forward, and now it's going to be on a line of you not even respecting or trying to understand what I'm saying. You just playing me like I'm crazy. You playing me like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't handle me. Don't handle me. You understand? We already been through that. But don't handle me. You trying to play me because you're not even supporting the fact that I'm coming from somewhere with this. It could be wrong. But understand, support that I feel away. I feel away. Support that. I ain't saying what I'm saying is right, but I feel away. And the last part is enthusiastically. You should shouldn't you want to get to what's right? You shouldn't be so. That's what I'm saying. What's it to you? You want to win. You can't win every argument. You can't win everything. Shouldn't you want to get to what's right for y'all? Not want to get to being right. Shouldn't you want to get to being right for each other? Being in a place to put that, hey, that's for us. Don't worry about what time she come home. Don't worry about if I post her. Don't worry about how we post. Don't worry about none of that. We're going to put this in the us. So shouldn't you want to do that? Shouldn't you? So when I say embrace debate, shouldn't you enthusiastically go into it? Enthusiastically meaning I want to get this done. I'm willing. I don't want nothing more than to resolve whatever we got going on. Because it's causing an issue and it's causing a distraction. I can't even enjoy my show on my program because you just came into the room. You ain't said nothing, but it's an issue because you ain't said nothing. It's funny, too. It's funny. I want to laugh. It's funny. When you're in an argument with somebody, if they say something funny, you can't laugh. You want to laugh, but you can't laugh like you want to laugh. And the show was on, and I can't laugh at the show how I want to laugh at the show because she might think I'm just being funny and trying to put on extra, like trying to be unbothered. Girl, I want to think about you. I was thinking about making a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you enthusiastically want to fix the problem? You got to embrace debate when we talking about relationship and accepting neutral. And that movie to the quote of the day. And it comes from next Friday, which is 2000. And that's why you got to be careful with your expectations versus who somebody really is, and where you get your expectations from. If you get your expectations from an external source, you got to be careful. Seeing something on the internet, then bringing it home. Seeing something that your friends do and then bringing it home. You know why? I'm going to go to the quote today. When Craig got into it with the Jokers for the first time. Because if I get into it with them, I got to leave here. You don't. If you try, he lucky you know that karate shit. If you try and to be like somebody else trying to bring something from the internet, bring something from another relationship that might not work in your us box, you better be careful of what that person telling you on the internet. Because you got to live there with your significant other. They don't. Somebody tell you to give your significant other ultimatum. Now you feeling all in power when you come home. Well, check this out. This what it is, and if it don't happen, this what's gonna happen. You gotta live there with them. They don't. That person that told you online, and I'm not dissing you. You are dissing me. I'm not dissing a person online. I'm a person online. So I'm not dissing them, but I ain't in your household. So even the things that I say, you better take heed and take caution and do it the way that works for you. If it works for you, if it don't work for you, don't do it. Don't put it in the you pile. If you a fan of the show and you vibe with the stuff I'm saying and the stuff that me and you agree with, put it in the us pile. But if it don't work for me and you think I'm tripping, you ain't got to agree. What works for me and you in our relationship as a host and a fan, cool, that's what works for us. Put it in the us pile. But when you trying to bring something from outside in just because you think it works for them, be careful. I got to lay here with them. You don't. You ought to be careful. I suggest you stop talking about a ring around your finger before I put a ring around your damn eye. And my whole point is choose your battles wisely, right? You don't have to win every time. You should take pride in not winning every time and accepting that neutral. And let's go into Guide to Black People. Just in case you don't know, Guide to Black People is still the project I'm working on. And this is because a lot of people, a lot of the misunderstanding and a lot of the hate and vitriol just come from just not understanding who we are. So I like to give a guide to just random things to understanding black people. And today's guide to learning black people is just to let you know what'll be going on in your surroundings if you're not black and you see black people in public. When black people see each other from far away, they don't wait. They get the person's attention, but once they get their attention, that's when they don't say nothing. There you go. Hey, Dante. What up, nigga? They just throw their hands up and see him from across the way. And as soon as Dante turned his head, dang, I was trying to think about a black now. This is got to be racist though. But as soon as Vanessa turned her head, Vanessa, you just gotta throw your hands up. When you see a black person doing this, that means they see somebody from across the room, and that person from across the room has identified who was calling their name. And by the time, if you ever hear your name called in a loud room, if you black, you ever hear your name called in a loud room, in a loud area, and you turn, I guarantee you, the black person ain't gonna be talking no more. They just gonna be doing this. Smiling. Either one or two hands up like it's me. So white people, if you walk in the spot and you see a black person like this, that don't mean it's beef going on. They just know somebody from across the way and they finally turn in their head. You understand? Let's move on to the love yourself. Embrace your weird. Whatever it is, it's you. Right? So that's what I'm talking about when I was talking about being in a relationship. If it ain't never no debates that's going on, you not really being you. And a part of you is weird. A part of you is weird. I'm just saying. I ain't saying go and tell your partner that. But you understand, a part of your partner is weird. But forget that, a part of you is weird. Homeboy, I'm talking to you. Let me see your ID. A part of you is weird. But accept it. Embrace it. Embrace. Accept support willingly, enthusiastically. You're a nerd. You like this. You like building model cars. You like murder mysteries. You want to do a murder mystery game night with your girl and her friends. But you don't want nobody to embrace it. Some of them people might have fun. Don't hide who you are. Whatever's weird, embrace your weird. Because it's a part of you, just like the part of you that the masses like, right? It's a lot that we all like, right? It's a general consensus or conformity on beauty standards, on how whatever it's supposed to be. But you can't just be judged on whatever the masses thinks is okay. Because the weird part about you is you too. That make you dope too. Embrace your weird, man. Come on, man. Hit you in the chest twice. Come on, man. Embrace your weird, man. It's you. And then to love somebody else, tell somebody you proud of them. Literally, I'm proud of you. We tend to think that's only reserved for a parent to a kid or for a superior to a subordinate. No, it can be in a relationship. being neutral, understanding and seeing the work that somebody did, even if you wouldn't have did the work that way. That ain't how you would have did it. That ain't how you would have did the work. But you can go into neutral and understand and see, wow, they did put in a lot of work. That ain't how I did it, but they put in a lot. I'm proud of you. Just say it. Say I'm proud of you to somebody. You don't understand how much, even if, and words of affirmation is something that's a part of my love language. But I don't think it's necessarily reserved for the people where that's a part of their love language. Life's so fast, the first come every month. The responsibilities never leave. Sometimes it feel good to know what you did made a difference or somebody could see it. And if you got your head down and you doing something, you working, it really don't matter if you working what others think. And y'all know I'm preaching that all the time. It really don't matter. But if you can lift your head and then randomly somebody tell you, boom, I'm proud of you. It's like, or if you lose weight and somebody say, dang, you lost weight, ain't no better feeling. I'll tell you right now, ain't no stopping us now. You lose weight, somebody say, you been losing weight? Nigga, you be ready to be like, I did a little shine, you know what I'm saying? A little 13 pounds, a little, it's nothing. It feel good. You wasn't doing it for that. But the fact that you got that, it's like, dang, some affirmation and confirmation for my dedication. Give somebody some affirmation for their dedication. Tell them that you're proud of them. And accept neutral, understand, homeboy. What's it to you? Why you gotta win? You don't have to win when you're in a relationship, because what's most important is embracing that dispute, because the dispute is going to happen. But we need to accept support willingly, enthusiastically, to get to the point where we can put it in the us box. Throw it in the cookie jar. Put it in the cookie jar. Throw it in the us box. Whatever works for us. Damn, well, you let her talk to you like that? What you mean let? That's what works for us. That's in the us box. The way my son talked to me, y'all, that's my guy. He told me, of course, not serious the other day. I don't even know where he got speaking like this. He young. You don't even talk like this when you're young. I ought to sock you square in the mouth. That's what he told me. I ought to sock you square in the mouth. Should an 8-year-old be saying that to his father? Of course not. But it's in the us box. Because I told him, motherfucker, I wish you would. Should you be saying that to your 8-year-old? Maybe not. But guess what? I put it in the us box. You got to accept neutral. Because understanding isn't moving forward. Understanding is being open to whoever your partner is with your expectation and their reality. Meet halfway. That's the resort of y'all, the us box. You know what? Maybe you should, if you having issues with how you was raised, how they was raised, what was working, and now y'all cohabitating or y'all in a relationship, maybe you should physically, like that diagram they used to do, the circle in the circle, how you feel, how he feel, whatever the case may be. But you got to have something in the us box. That was foul, what was about to happen with my hands. That was foul. So let me make a box. But you got to put it in the us box. You got to physically do it and write down what works in the us box. You know what I'm saying? Get back to that, because sometimes you forget based on whatever you got going on. So really put it in the us box and accept neutral. I don't have to win every time, and that's cool. Accept that. I'm glad y'all tuned in. This was a good one. We was vibing today. You understand? You understand? But look, come back next time. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your man Saani, and you cannot make sense without keeping it a buck. You heard?
About your word, always keep that shit a buck. And if test your bloodline, stand for yours. The only thing that matters in this world, who wanted more? Look, never not believed in me. That's just how I'm cut. Be a man about your word, always keep that shit a buck. And if a nigga test your bloodline, stand for yours. The only thing that matters in this world, who wants it more? Yeah.